up, everybody? Welcome to the IAG Thursday thing, this thing that we do every Thursday, even when it's Freedom Day, almost, on this lovely July 2nd, 2 days before America's 250th, and we're going to get together and kind of have a barbecue style, let's all chill out, ask Dewey, hang out, catch up. You and I haven't had one of these, like, non-agenda ones in a little while, so I think we'll just wing it, see what happens.
That's right.
So first things first, joined by my partner in crime, Warranty. Warranty, how you doing, bud?
Dewey, I'm doing great. I'm feeling restless. This holiday weekend has got me restless. I don't know what I need, but and I got an update for you. So my Apex wheels will be here in early August rather than just an ambiguous sometime in August. So feeling good about that. Can't wait to get those wheels back on the car.
I like that. So sometime in August, hopefully.
Early August. That was the upgrade. I started getting the automated emails, which means it's probably going to be here soon enough.
Sick. First question, obvious Ocho update. Hold on.
Well, we got to say thanks to producer Jordan. Look
I'm just saying, Ocho the cat is hanging out here doing cat things.
It's an orange cat, lots of white stripes, and he let you just pick him up, so he must be okay.
Okay, first things first. Got to thank producer Jordan. He's the reason all the stuff in the background works here. He does all our editing.
Yep.
Love him to pieces. Thank you, producer Jordan. And always last second, Randy manages to put together a solid thumbnail. It drives him up the wall. I told him today, don't really overthink it. And he got all mad when I said that. So thank you again, Randy. I'm actually kind of hyped about Randy. Randy is going to Goodwood.
Yes.
That's
very cool.
So he'll be there next week. I think Goodwood's next week. So then the week after when he's back, I think we're going to debrief with Randy and just see like what is the experience for an American going to Goodwood.
Yeah. Cool, man.
I think it'll be cool.
Nice.
So,
well, Dewey,
let's
got no agenda. So let's just catch up. How are you? What are you doing this weekend? Oh, you told me about Nashville Cars and Coffee. It's going to be massive.
Yes, I'm going to a giant Cars and Coffee on the 4th. So Saturday morning, and it's at Nashville Super Speedway. So it's should be pretty big. I've heard these Cars and Coffees get dumb. People end up showing up like 2 hours early to get good parking spots and crap.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just show up. I mean,
yeah.
If you know what the bug eye is, you'll be kind of hyped about it. If you don't, you're not going to care. It's not that pretty. I'm just hyped to go out there and hang. So
they charge admission for this?
I don't think so.
How are they doing this? Who's putting up the money to like rent a stadium on a Saturday?
I think it's just the parking lot, but that parking lot is massive.
I mean, I've run events like that, Dewey. You know that everything comes at a cost, and that cost is not cheap and not free.
I don't know, man.
That's crazy. Wow. Cool.
So I'm pretty hyped. There's that's going on. So I've got to get I want to change my front brake pads. I think they're Hawk DTC 60s. They're a gnarly pad. They squeal like hell. They dust like hell. They're not a great street pad. Okay, they're very on-off button. It's not that they're not like a bad pad. If I was going to a track day, sweet, and again, I've used DTC 60s, but I'm sponsored by EBC. I just want to throw that out there. Because I'm sponsored by EBC, I asked them nicely to throw me some street pads for this car, and they did. So I'm going to throw some reds on it before I go. Actually, I have a whole S4 kit to throw on there, but I'm not going to have time to do all that. So I'm just going to throw the front pads.
What's the S4 kit?
An
That,
S4 kit
rotors
is
as well?
EBC Reds and their USR rotors. It's kind of like,
Hmm.
in my opinion, like a great off the shelf street kit. S4 kits are great. It's simple, comes to your rotors, comes to your pads, matched, nice, just works. Nice slotted rotor, nothing crazy.
Wow, nice. That's something to think about now that, what was it? The Girodisc blanks? Not Girodisc. The blanks that everybody would buy for rotors. That company went bankrupt because of First Brands. So now you need
StopTech?
StopTech, yes,
Yeah.
StopTech blanks.
But it was Centric blanks that everybody was using.
Oh, Centric.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is
So
the
it's
same
thing.
company. Yeah.
Oh, it is the same. It is the same company.
Yep.
Okay.
Centric
Okay.
and StopTech are the same company.
Yeah, so I'm assuming all those brands will get resurrected at some point if they're not already, because they make money. It was just the parent company that did the fraud. But okay, cool. Yeah. So what's going on my side? I think I'll hang out with the Roman Auto people at some point,
That's cool.
either today or tomorrow. Hadn't seen them. They ordered the fluid that I was looking for. So the power, Motul power gear oil, and then the Gear 300 differential limited slip gear oil. So get those coming. So it's a back order that's coming from Turn.
I don't know why you
yeah,
need limited slip gear oil anywhere in your car.
Because honestly, because Motul recommends it on their website, and they probably just went, oh, herp derp, you've got a limited slip differential in the back, therefore this is the model that you should get.
You have a helical style differential.
I get it, but
Which
you know,
is mechanical.
friction modifiers. I don't know how it works, Dewey, but I want it because Motul recommended it. And until I hear from a Motul rep that I shouldn't use it, I'm going to use it.
Okay.
Honestly,
There's no downside to it. It's just you're paying extra for it to have the LSD additive.
I need to hit up Ryan at P1. So he's been sponsoring you with motor oil, right? From Motul.
Yeah, there's the whole thing with that, but we'll talk about that another time. But yeah, hit him up.
He was very helpful when I would ask a question.
He was very helpful. Yes.
Yes. So he would know.
Yeah.
He would know. This dude has answers. When he wants to sell products, good to have answers. So, okay. What else? Man, I don't know about you, but it's been really hot in Chicago and everywhere. I know you're down in Tennessee, but I'm just feeling restless. Like I want to go do something, but
but then you're like,
degrees
oh my God, it's 7 trillion degrees out. The bug eye doesn't have AC either. So I want to go cruise around and do stuff. No AC. It is 97 degrees out right now before you account for anything else. So like it's 110 plus air temps, like heat index or more right now. It is gross.
Yeah, that's rough, man. Like I think it's probably just because I've been stuck in my apartment for the whole week, just working from home and trying to avoid the heat, that now I really want to go out and do things. And as soon as I step outside, I'm just melting and it's awful. So yeah. Now we were talking in the chat a little bit before we started recording, but I don't feel bad for you. You've got no AC in the bug eye. It's because it's a 20-plus-year-old car. I want you to fix it, of course.
Myself in. It had AC. Okay, and then when I yanked the engine out, I put it all back together, and as I was putting it together, I realized one of the AC lines had a hole in it, and I'm like,
oh no,
this is a pain in the ass. And then my AC tensioner, those things are notoriously pieces of shit on those cars. The AC tensioner was messed up, and I'm like, this is dumb. So I just yanked it out, and I have all of it to put it back in. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this right now, and yanked it out, yanked the condenser out, yanked all of it out. So it doesn't have AC right now. Period.
I have time to not deal with it.
Yeah,
it's 95 a week in the whole country.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'll live, but you know, I went forever without AC years ago, and I was fine. So
when you were young, and you're not young anymore, now it's
good for me. Honestly, I've been losing weight due to it. It's good for me. Just sucks it right out of me.
Okay, that's water weight, where you just put it back once you get inside and try not to die.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine.
Oh man. Yeah, I tell me all the things you do with your bug eye, but like AC doesn't work. I just immediately jump to that's a 20-year-old car. Of course it doesn't work. And don't tell me about that. Tell me about like cars and coffee and stuff. I don't want this to. I just What's straight to the payoff?
When I last week or the week before, I think it was the week before, I ran Megan some stuff in Nashville. She was in Nashville, and on the way back I hit one of the driving roads out here that's it's
Yeah.
kind of in between us and Nashville. It's a total riot, and just bombing through there with this car with RE71 RZs, it doesn't make sense on the street. It just doesn't let go. It's actually too much grip. It's kind of ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
it's definitely too much grip for having stock seats in it. Like, for me to even drive this car anywhere near the limit, I'd have to put a racing seat in it because I'm just literally flying out of the seat.
Yeah. Right turn, fly out the window.
Yes. But
Nice. What suspension is the bug eye on again?
it's on RCE T2s.
Oh yeah, so you got nice suspension.
I found a nice set of used T2s, new to me, and Terry Fair from Vorschlag, the meme god himself. I hit him up and I'm like, yo, like, I got a set of these RCE T2s. Is there a way I can get some top hats from you? And they just showed up, which was, I can't thank Terry enough.
Nice.
Had some conversations with Miles on where we wanted to set these things up and how they were set up and everything. And it's really good. Now,
Miles
it isn't
at
perfect
RCE for everybody.
Yep.
Right.
It isn't perfect. The car has a roll center adjustment kit. It's got a stock front STI 04 STI front sway bar, but it's got a 24 mil rear. It does not have
24 rears. I do like them.
It does not have a adjustable rear lateral links, so we did our best to get tow where it needs to be using the stock adjustment, and thankfully the RCE T2s come with like a slotted the clevis or whatever is slotted, so the coilover feet on the bottom, you can get some camber out of it. So we were able to get it. We weren't able to get all of the toe in out of the rear, but we got most of it out of the rear. So we're a hair toe in the rear. We're 0 toe in the front. The rear's at about 2 degrees. The front's at like really close to 2 degrees. And with 0 toe. So like if we go out to Tail the Dragon, or we're gonna go do some spirited driving, or I go to a track day or whatever, I have the ability to knock some camber in, now get a little toe out in the front, and the thing's gonna get really darty. But it's already obnoxiously darty.
That sounds kind of close to your silver car that you campaigned at Grid Life Street, which was a handful to drive on track.
Yeah.
So I can imagine what this bug eye drives like.
It's great. It's everything I wanted it to be. I can't wait
bet.
to put a faster steering rack in it, though. I think I'm going to put a 2015 rack in this. I might even yank the 2015 rack out of Boogie to put in it, because I'm thinking about getting a quick rack for Boogie.
Okay. Now, where does that come from?
There's a company somewhere, and again, it's these weird like rally companies that make all this weird shit for the older stuff, and it's they make really fast racks for GCs and GDs. And
how fast are you talking?
It's probably going to be 2-turn lock to lock.
So that's less than 13-1. So less than like a 2015 STI quick rack.
Oh yeah, significantly faster. Yeah, it's going to be.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I think we'd be okay. Sarah Wolf's asking if it's 24 solid or hollow. It's solid. It's a white line bar. It's nothing fancy. It doesn't need to be. Okay. I need to get some adjustable rear lateral links for that. I haven't figured out exactly which brand I want to go with, because I got to be real, I'm not impressed by anything that's on the market right now. I really wish somebody would step it the F up. The other thing I'm doing, and I might actually do some of that either today or tomorrow, is I picked up some Cartboy outrigger bushings. So it's basically you stack them on top of the kind of diff supports that are way out in the front. They kind of sandwich in there, and they stop that from moving around. I've got the subframe lockout bolts I'm going to throw those in. I got those from Cartboy. And from Turn-In Concepts, I picked up their rear diff bushings, their race rear diff carrier bushings. So I'm going to throw those in, and that should solid up the rear end. But I'm waiting. Cartboy is about to start selling tall boys themselves. It's no longer going to be an exclusive thing for one particular
you were saying.
company. Yeah, so everybody can buy a tall boy. So as soon as those come back in stock, tall boy shifter, their new their front U joint thing that they just made, that solid one. And then their front and rear bushings, and the shifter will be exactly how I want it to.
Excellent. So
I'm worried. I'm
like
trying to do that sort of stuff. I'm gonna here soon. I'm gonna have to pick up some I want to do our street series. I don't know if I'm gonna do street or comp. I'm probably gonna do street series. Engine mounts, trans mount, and pitch stop from us. I just haven't got around to it, and I need to get an AOS in there. So just small stuff. I've just
all the things you've been talking about are suspension, and that just makes me so happy. Not bigger turbo, this, that, and the other.
I want the car to feel right, and I can add power. Power is easy, like
for you.
It's honestly the things. It's simple because I could just. I'm not gonna lie. I've been chatting with this company that does turbos, and they want me to run this turbo that they have. So they're trying to get me one of these. And when that happens, then we'll get the supporting modifications to make it work. I'll either run an ETS top mount, or it sounds like Overtake is about to pop a top mount out, and I'd kind of like to see which direction they go with it. Yeah. So I might grab one of theirs. I'll do an inlet at the same time, but I really need to do a top feed conversion because I'm still on side feeds, and that's just like waiting for my engine to die. And I want to do flex fuel, but to do that, there's really not a good way to do that on a stock ECU. So I'm either probably going to go to a link, or I've got a connection on something different that somebody wants to test with somebody they know. And I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about it, but if that happens, that might be game changing for some of the older GD cars. So I'm kind of excited about that too.
So the turbo company, have I heard of the company before?
No.
Okay. Looking forward to hearing about it later.
Should be pretty interesting. Speaking of turbos, we're going to be doing some testing with Garrett next week.
Nice. Cool. What are you testing? With Boogie.
New turbos.
New turbos. You already had new turbos, and now you're going to the new
turbos.
Cool.
Okay, so I'll let you in on some insider baseball stuff, things I'm allowed to say, and then what I'm not allowed to say. But long story short, if you see in the G Series lineup, there was a lot of Gen 2 things that came out for the G Series lineup. One of the things that did not come up was the G35 1050 Gen 2. Honestly, their biggest reason for that is it worked great for us in our application, but it didn't quite hit the mark they wanted to hit with it. So they never really released it as a product. That's what we were running, was the G35 Gen 2.
You had a prototype the whole time?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we liked it. The biggest reason we liked it is over the G35 1050 original one, which is still a great turbo, and we never had any failures or anything with it. It was a super solid turbo. The issue the thing we liked about the Gen 2 was the turbo wheel speed came down a bit, so it gave us more headroom, but we basically made the exact same power on the exact same amount of boost, maybe a hair more. But the problem is it wasn't good enough to market it that way. Why would I upgrade my they needed something that was a proper generational change, and they're very excited about what they're bringing. So we're excited. We'll see where it goes. I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about it past that, but they are coming. We're doing some stuff.
Okay. I'm interested to know if they call the item that gets released Gen 2, or if they'll call it like
I don't know if they're going to call these things Gen 3 or what they're going to call it. The marketing side of it, I don't know. But I'm hyped. Okay, like their Gen 2 was a pretty good jump over their original Gen 1 G series in
Yeah.
most of their sizing. But
Okay.
the boys over there are hyped, and they're hyped to come out. And so like next week we'll be doing that. It should be
Cool.
I'm interested to see what comes of it. I don't know how much I'm able to really share, if we got the new hotness on or not, and what's going on. But yeah, we're whatever.
I'm assuming they're doing that at IAG and you're going out there.
I might not even be going out there. Dylan
Okay.
is more than capable of. Yeah, I mean he basically manages the car. I would be there to smile and take
Yeah.
pictures. You know what I mean? Hi guys.
Yeah. Shake hands and kiss babies.
Ellen and SPL G35 1050X. Got to throw an X or an R in there. You ain't wrong. Like that's just how everybody works. XR.
Yep. Yep. Going back to the bug eye, did Graham touch it on the tune, or are you just sort of YOLOing whatever
I'm
you
just YOLOing whatever's in there because it runs great.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
like it runs really good. I do have every once in a while I'm getting a whiff of fuel from the rear. Okay, so
Okay.
I think I'm not 100% sure what's causing it, but I want to check that out to make sure it's nothing dangerous. But I haven't seen anything drip. Okay,
Okay.
but I did throw
Okay.
check engine light for a loose gas cap, which means something is not pressurized correctly. There's like it's like a vent line or something is not correct.
Oh, wait, the gas cap was tight and it still got
Yes.
mad at you.
So
Okay,
like
you
it'll happen
screwed.
after about an hour to an hour and a half of driving. Like straight, it'll throw a check engine light.
Did you ever look at the fuel pump?
No, and I'm
Or just
going to.
look at the-
That's going to be
Okay.
like I'm gonna probably do that tomorrow.
Priority number one, just look at it and go, why are you mad? Like, is maybe the gasket, the rubber gaskets?
It absolutely
you.
could just be the rubber gasket. Maybe it's not sealed down the right way. It could be like the vent cap going or vent line going to the top isn't on there correctly, or
Hmm.
maybe one of the little like nipples that comes off of it, maybe it broke. You know, there's a few different things that could be that it might be a super simple fix. I don't know. I haven't really opened it up. I'll
Okay.
take a look. Car runs great other than that. So it can't be anything
Have
too
you-
bad.
Have you ever had a situation where you just had to buy a new gas cap? Did we talk about this?
I've never actually seen a Subaru gas cap fail.
Okay. Oh, I feel like we might have talked about this 5+ years ago.
Maybe.
So I didn't remember our chat. Okay. Okay.
What happens in a
Yeah.
lot of these old bug eyes, they'll throw check engine lights for this all the time. Where there is this charcoal canister in the rear. Okay.
Mhm.
Basically, it's supposed to vent through this charcoal canister and come back, and that's supposed to pull whatever, like vapors out of it or something, right? And
Yeah.
those go bad. There's actually like a valve in them that goes bad. And what usually happens when that happens is it becomes a pain in the ass to pump fuel. But I'm wondering if maybe that
yeah.
wasn't connected correctly, or maybe this is a 04 STI and bug eye stuff not like quite matching up correctly, because I'm finding a lot of that. So I don't know.
Okay.
The charcoal canister
that's
sucks
something
though, and I yeah, if it's still there, I gotta be real. It's not the right thing to do, but it's going away. Like the car's old. I'm not even gonna try to fix that.
Yeah. So speaking of emissions, about a new topic, we'll probably cover this in more detail after we both have sat and thought about it. But it sounds like the EPA is happy to work with SEMA for some kind of certification system that's not California run. Is that what you read?
That's kind of what I got out of it, but I didn't know how to that's one of those things that it's worded in a way that I don't know exactly how to take that, and I haven't had a chance to like stare at that a bit to see what that means.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of want to talk to JJ about it and go, what do you think of this? But
Okay.
kind of the vibe I got out of it, and I please don't quote me on this, but the vibe I got out of it is exactly what you just said. That is there a way we could set this up that doesn't mandate us having to go through California specifically to get this stuff certified? Because it's insane to have to do that. Like, can we figure out a better way of doing this?
Yeah, I am not an expert in this by any means, and I would have to talk to people that are far smarter than me. I would like to talk to Cobb about it. Remember when Cobb came on this podcast and said, "Here's all the things that we did to get like off the shelf tunes carb certified."
Yeah.
That was really cool, but that was probably a huge pain for them and very expensive. So I want to know, how do they feel about it now?
You
Can
know
they make
what's
something
super
like,
cool?
what's up?
Adrian from Cobb now works for us.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
Nice.
like I wonder if I could actually get Adrian to talk on this topic a little bit and see what he thinks about it. Because I've been looking for an excuse to get Adrian on. And I know
Yeah.
he can't speak too much to that side, but he does understand EPA stuff, and it might just be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, just his perspective because he was closer to the flame. You know, that could go a
Absolutely.
long way.
He had to fight that fight for sure.
Yeah, SEMA, I think, had a leg to stand on, which is like, we're trying our best here, and you can't just regulate us out of existence because we're a multi-billion-dollar industry. And California, on the other hand, on the opposite side of the spectrum, said, like, if there's not going to be effective regulations, we're just going to regulate, and you can deal with it because we are the size of a small country.
Yeah.
So I can see both arguments, but the best way is to like keep people happy and kind of compromise in the middle, which maybe it happened. I don't know. I have to read it just like you.
This is one of those situations where, not trying to get political,
Yeah.
but it does annoy me that one state has that amount of sway when it comes to like federal laws and the rest of the country basically has to
Yeah.
bow to that because they have decided this is the bar. One state basically decided the bar is here.
Well, that's 99% right. So what they said was, this is our rules for our state, which I like.
Yes,
I like state
which
setting
I think
rules.
state rights I totally agree with. But what ends
Right.
up happening is then you end up having the automakers have to basically bend to that no matter what. And that was and
Yeah.
it kind of you were and I also believe a lot of the approach that they took, just like cafe standards have annoyed me to no end. They were not written by people who really understood cars.
Right.
And like the whole
Yeah.
like the Jay Leno law thing, like is
Well, what was the Jay Leno law
oh,
again?
you haven't so the Jay Leno law is interesting. Long story short, they're basically trying to make it easier for older cars to stay on like on the road, and like you can't get
Yeah, that's a
OEM
surprise.
you can't get OEM emissions stuff for a lot of these cars anymore, but California also mandates that you have to use OEM emission stuff for a lot of it. So they're like, we need to find a workaround for this. And Jay Leno's law it basically dealt with that sort of stuff.
Interesting. So,
Yeah.
so Jason Camisa had a podcast episode about this. I like Jason Camisa, but that podcast was a grind. So I'll summarize it for you, which is he drove his Volkswagen, whatever nerd car, 1,000 miles to get the monitors to set right, and they wouldn't. And he's like, I'm just burning gas trying to get California happy. If the regulations were written better, I wouldn't have to do this.
Yeah.
Like the solution is less emissions, and this is not that. So
Well, I
Okay.
mean, I had a conversation. I was on the Wave podcast
what is that?
earlier this
Never
week.
heard of it.
The Wave podcast is cool. It's basically some of the guys who run the Subaru mechanics group. And yeah, and like it's a really fun podcast. They got a couple of things going on right now that you might find interesting. One of them is they have an old NA Subaru Baja that is right now about to pass 3,000 miles running on nothing but canola oil. Like,
All right.
yeah, they
Is it diesel or
drained the
gas?
oil. No, it is what it's lubricated with. They drained
What?
the engine oil out and put canola oil in, and it's working.
Okay, so Dewey. At first, I was like, "Oh, you got so excited about Subaru mechanics," but the background for everybody listening is this is a Facebook group where people come up with horrible ideas. And
It's cool. It like I don't want to take. It's a really large Facebook group, and the idea behind it was if you're trying to help people out when they have questions on their
Great.
Subaru NA or
yeah,
whatever.
I like
That's
that.
the idea of that. This is just these guys' stupid project that they thought was funny. And they were thinking they were just going to kill this thing within maybe 20 miles, and they're like, we're almost 3,000 miles in, and it's still running. So they're about to, we can't tell Blackstone, but they're about to send Blackstone
See, I love this, but okay, I'm just trying to draw a parallel here between smart guys doing dumb stuff is cool, but some of these posts coming out of Subaru mechanics are idiots doing horribly terrible things and then wondering why it's not working, and they just get shredded for it on the internet.
Oh, I love it so much, and like, but these guys are just, they're ahead of it, you know.
Yeah,
whatever, you know, if it dies, it dies.
All right.
So
going back to carb, it's the manufacturers at fault, I thought, because they just build one car for all 50 states.
Sure.
You would think it would be simple to build two versions of the car, just nerf
Nothing
it slightly
is
for
simple,
California.
because then you have to produce multiple versions. And not only that, then if you don't have a California version, okay,
Right.
and you live in Nevada and then move to California,
Well, that's their problem, the owner's problem, not the car maker's problem.
you're not going to be. But then some other auto manufacturer has that ability. Like, I'm telling you, like, that would cause, they're going to have to make a California for the world, and that's
I'm kind of just yelling at clouds because manufacturers do that to save money, but you're telling me it just could not be done any other way. I'm shocked. That's all. But it's never been done, so clearly it cannot be done. So in practice, California makes regulations for the country, and that is weird. So, some
other stuff that I've been doing. I've been helping my brother look for a GF wagon. He kind of wanted a U.S. domestic market swapped one, but the only ones we find are shit boxes. So we started kind of tripping on some the JDM ones, honestly, are kind of a better setup. We found them a really nice version 3.
Cool.
Black version 3. Dude, I'm ruining him right now. Like, he actually literally just messaged me. He's like, I hate you. I messaged the guy. I hope he gets it, because it is Minty McMint. And honestly, I've been having so much fun with my damn bug eye that I just want everybody else to have this sort of fun.
I like that, but it's not for everybody, man. Like, it's not for me.
No, it doesn't need to be for you. It's definitely for my brother. It would be a secondary car, not his primary. He doesn't live in a city,
Right.
you know, and this is, I think, a 96. Yeah, 96. So it's old. This is a very old car. So it's going to have very old car issues, you know, and there's lots of updating and stuff he needs to do to it. But long story short, I told him, I'm like, all us old guys are buying the cars that we wanted to put together correctly when we were in our 20s and couldn't afford it. And he's like, that's really why I wanted to do a GF. And I started farting around and found him a GF. And he's like, oh my God. And he's got the ability to do it now. Good. I thought I was poor back in the day. My brother was crazy poor. I was poor, and he was living on my couch. That's how poor he was. Okay.
I don't remember when he was on your couch, but I remember how it was when I met you, and it was tough, man. But you made it work.
It was way worse before I met you.
Yeah,
I was on the way up when you and I met.
Yeah, you acted like you were on the way up. I was like, oh, this guy's fine. Whatever's going on, it's fine. So, I got another one for you.
Dylan did not give him the white GF. I bought the white GF. Okay, and he bought it from me, and then I rebought it from him, and then crashed it into stuff, and now Ryan owns it, okay, and uses it as a side track slot. Just so you're aware, Serapin Wolf, that's how that went down. So, Dylan had nothing to do with that other than maybe throwing him a few extra parts.
Dylan at IAG?
No.
He gets involved in the bad Dylan?
The bad Dylan. This is Dylan. Yeah, I should clarify that.
Wolf, no, I thought Serapin Wolf was from Tennessee.
Dylan, DS1 days, way back in the day. Like, this is old stuff. This is Chicago area Subaru old school drama.
Lore. Wait, I thought Serapin Wolf was like, he lived in Tennessee. How does he know all of this?
Serapin Wolf is OG, my guy.
Okay. He's in New Hampshire.
Yes. But Serapin Wolf is like, if you take, I've said this before, if you take a piss within 20 feet of a track Subaru in this country, I can smell it, okay? Serapin Wolf, is kind of the opposite. If you take a piss within 20 feet of somebody modifying any pre-2001 Subaru in this country, he can probably smell it.
Do you know what it is? I'm confusing him with Ray, your neighbor.
No, Serapin Wolf is not Ray.
Okay, my bad. All right. Okay. I've got another question for you. So I messaged you earlier this week and you just did not respond. So now I get to ask you on the podcast.
Oh, no.
All right. Hear me out. Fox body Mustangs. They are the smallest and lightest Mustangs. And so people just take these chassis out of a farm and then build them into a drag car.
Yep.
Okay. How come we don't see the same thing with BRZs and GR80s, or what would be FT86s?
Why are we not seeing more drag racing BRZs and GR86s?
You see them with like 240s, like White Rice, the import drag car.
You don't see as many as you would think, though. Okay, the majority of 240s ended up smashed into walls for drag cars or for drift cars. Okay, and then drift hacks threw them through the roof. The majority of Supras you see have been turned into drag cars. Okay.
The ones that are remaining, there weren't that many to begin with, though.
Yeah. So the reason you don't see that is, one, it doesn't come with an engine that's that great for it straight from the factory. But why aren't you seeing more people swap stuff into it? Honestly, because I don't think people have really taken the time to look into it. I think it's slept on. I truly think it's slept on. I think it's slept on.
There's enough people that have done V8 swaps into BRZs.
I totally agree. There's a beaten path to it. And there's even a beaten path to sticking better transmissions in it. It's already rear-wheel drive. So it makes sense. I won't say there's one of the reasons that Fox bodies work really well is they come with a stick axle rear end straight from the factory, which works great for drag race. Okay, the multi-link rear end in a Subaru isn't great for that. It just isn't.
Yeah, you'd have to tear it out. I don't know what White Rice does. It might be an independent rear suspension, but I don't remember what configuration it is. But yeah, I'm surprised.
So, Serapin Wolf's asking, are we going to do the AMA? And the answer is yes. Okay, you and I kind of tangented.
Yeah. No, we just wanted to catch up. I haven't chatted with you about random stuff in weeks. Yeah. So Wicked FA20 in the chat says Mustangs come with Ford rear ends. Yes, but
Joey just asked if I'm busy Sunday. I might be driving to Indiana.
It's in Indiana.
In
Indiana is the car.
I'll find out.
Okay. Cool. EFF makes a mount for the WRX. Yeah, I know that you could put a Ford rear end in a WRX, but I'm interested to know if they would do the same for a BRZ. Like, you'd probably have to pull out the multi.
You could stick the diff, but you're not sticking a full stick axle in there without getting kind of stupid. I'm not saying you can't do it. You absolutely can.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just
I don't.
It doesn't.
I just love to know.
Like you can stick a Ford 9-inch rear. Like you stick in all these big gnarly drag cars in the There's not like a beaten path to doing that in a BRZ. I'm not saying you can't do it. You absolutely can. It's just people haven't. I gotta be real. You're right though. You're absolutely right. That thing could be a nasty drag car if set up correctly. It's shaped the right way. It's light. It's a very strong chassis that wouldn't need a ton of reinforcement to make it work.
That's right.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it hasn't been.
It's rare, Dewey, that I have a shower thought that you haven't thought about. So I was pretty proud of myself.
Shower thought.
All right, so more comments in the chat. Independent rear suspension struggles compared to a live axle because of the lack of anti-squat. Yep, and aftermarket availability of strong components. Yeah, I mean, IRS became this thing in like import versus domestic. Like, oh my god, this guy's doing all this crazy stuff on a stick shift and IRS, which I thought was crazy, but I don't know anything about drag racing.
We are at some point today. We're gonna bring Max from EFI up here, and he's gonna tell us a story. But
I'm down. Let's get through a couple questions in the chat, and then we could go do that.
We also have Ronnie Smith had a host of questions in the actual post. He's the only one who put anything in the post this time.
Ronnie Smith, your dirt track friend?
Yes.
Nice. Okay. So Question in the chat, Dewey, how many track days is an ester-based oil good for? And also, I use an oil cooler.
How many track days? I'm gonna recommend, no matter what oil you're running, every event you do at a minimum, change your oil. Okay, just do it.
I'm
So
surprised.
now let's say Boogie. What we do with Boogie, every event, we at a minimum we change the oil. Sometimes we change the oil in the middle of the event. Okay. Now, is it
really
totally
surprised
breaking
because-
down? No. That is a precautionary measure more than anything. But if you get that thing really hot, if you start seeing temps over 250, change your oil.
Yeah, see, if it's not getting hot or not even getting hot, you would think it would last the whole weekend or
Absolutely.
1,000 miles or something. Like this Motul 300V is expensive.
It
and you would
absolutely
think
is.
that
So if you're going to keep your oil temps in check, okay, let's say your temps are in check.
Yeah.
Let's say you keep your oil temps under 230 the whole time, okay? Motul
Yeah.
is totally fine like that. 300V, good oil. If you were to run a 2 or 3 track days on that, maybe not go over 1,000 miles total, that's probably fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like those race oils don't have detergents for street use, but 1,000 miles is probably going to be just fine.
Yes.
And that's a lot of track miles. So
And that's
temperature is
also,
way more important.
Max brought up a really good point. That's also like you need to take ethanol into context with this too. If you are running ethanol, which a lot of us track folks are because we're trying to keep our car together, that will break down oil real fast.
That's true, but all of these fancy oils say it's 100% compatible with ethanol these days, and they don't even mention like shorter drain intervals.
No,
and only on the racing oil they say ask your tuner.
Some of it's ask your engine builder. We have a whole thing on our website of you go to our recommended oils, and what we want you to run, and depending on what fuel you're running and stuff like that.
Yep. Comment in the chat. Oil life is also related to how many contaminants and other products are being made.
Yes.
Yep. Water, residual fuel, and acidic components, etc. Yes.
Yep. And this is one of those things that like an AOS actually helps with, because an AOS will pull moisture out of your oil. So
Flatiron's Tuning with a very good point. Comment in the chat. Sometimes you just have to do an oil analysis to see what's going on with the oil.
They're not wrong.
So run the car hard
it's not
for the weekend.
And you learn a lot about the healthier engine.
Yes. Oil changes with God's oil. God's racing motor oil is very expensive. So spend the $30 or $40 or whatever it is to get an oil analysis. So then you know.
A reminder for the people, coolant turns acidic. Yes.
Yep. All right, people, put questions in the chat. We're going to wait a couple minutes. We're going to stall, see if any more questions come in.
Let's do Ronnie. Okay.
So Chris with the STI, I like 300V. Do we like 300V? There's other stuff that's just mega expensive and high tier, and they almost say don't use it for the street, almost, but they don't.
So 300V is really nice because we've yet to put enough heat into it for it to be a real issue. And I think I'm not recommending you try to beat our high score on oil temps, but we have, in some really ugly cases before we had temps under control, have seen over 280 to 285. I think my high score is like 285. Like,
that's
don't
aggressive.
do this. Don't do this.
Don't do it.
But things survived. Veveline VR1 is also good oil, and actually Veveline VR1 is what we tell people that don't have a lot of mileage on their race engines, like because they have to go straight to it. We actually tell them to run VR1 at least for their first event.
Nice.
It's pretty high zinc content for it being like motorsports oil.
Question. Oh yeah, why do you make that recommendation for a fresh race engine?
High zinc content.
Got it.
Yep. It's has kind of like the some of the additives of a break-in oil, but it puts up with the heat a ton better.
Okay. High zinc, that's like race specific, right? That was something that was kind of taken out of street oils for, who knows, probably emissions reasons.
You tend to see it a lot in conventional oils. I'm not sure why they pulled it out. I'm sure it was emissions based or something like that.
Okay.
But for break-in, there's metallurgy reasons for wanting high zinc.
That reminds me. All right, zinc content damages cats. Got it.
Go.
Thank you, Max. Yep, we have very good people in our chat.
Zinc was the reason Brotella was a thing for a hot minute, and that is true too. That
Yeah.
old school Brotella, why people were running Rotella was it was super high zinc content, and then they pulled the zinc out of it, and people still continue to run it. Not saying that it just don't. There's that
This is
oil
more than
is
10 years
only
out of
ready
date.
for a diesel.
Yeah, low RPM, got lots of froth. Don't use it for yeah. Question in the chat: why do so many people in the industry not understand anti-squat and how it works? I'm going to answer this, and then Dewey, you can answer it even better than me. Suspension kinematics is really difficult. Like, people just want things to drive well.
I'm actually going to pump the brakes real fast. The amount of people who think all cars have suspension and your wheels just go straight up and down. That's how they think it works. Okay, is too damn high. They don't understand there is a lot to it. Okay, a lot to it. Just like it. So what's really crazy is the amount of people in like I love Graham, and I'm not trying to like that like we'll pay Graham big money or a tuner big money to tune your engine, and then they won't ask anybody about tuning suspension whatsoever and how it works. And it is as complicated.
Yes. That's the short answer. So people who are in the chat can actually see I've got a very nice mountain bike, Santa Cruz tall boy, because I am a tall boy, sitting over my left shoulder. And suspension geometry in mountain bikes is just as complicated. And that actually has anti-squat built into it. Yeah. And then they changed it in the next generation to be different. So yeah, it's not just cars, it's mountain bikes as well. So it's going to handle a little differently when you're on the power versus off the power. But what gets me is people who say, okay, the BRZ has too much anti-squat in the rear of the car, therefore it's bad, and you should put it back to
what makes it bad
style. Exactly.
Yeah. So like, is it maybe bad for either A, bigger power, or maybe even B, lap times in some way? Maybe. But the anti-squat is one of the reasons that car is a lot of fun to drive.
Yes. Now, when I floor it, I go full throttle on the highway and I'm going through a bumpy section. Yeah, the rear end hops around, probably because of anti-squat pushing the wheels to do less suspension travel when I'm on the throttle. But the rest of the time, when I'm not hitting a bumpy section on the highway, it's great. The car drives great. Front rear balance is excellent. So I know nothing about suspension design, but if somebody says, I'm going to change this because Subaru's wrong, probably not wrong. Better have a really good reason.
I mean, I think you need to tune your suspension for your uses. Okay. I think I think there needs to be more emphasis put into suspension tuning, and as much emphasis as people put into tuning their engines.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
I think they would be surprised at the results too, especially if we're talking about lap times.
Anti-squat is one of those things that you cannot just see on a chart for, let's say, camber and toe angle and caster and all these things. So it's not going to show up in an alignment. You just have to know what it is and what the car is designed to do.
It's also not like a single part. It's an accumulation of a lot of different things together. So it's multiple different axes together that create anti-squat. Okay, so like it's very you don't just change a part. You know, it isn't so. And when you mess with one thing on suspension, you mess with multiple things. It's just like tuning a car. You know, again, there's more to it than just getting the air fuel ratio correctly and turning the boost up.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, like, I don't know anything about suspension, and honestly, I don't want to learn. I just want somebody to tell me this is right. But Probably same with tuning, actually. I just want to drive the damn car.
You
So,
are
all
like
right.
90% of the people out there, except 90% of the
Yep.
people out there can't admit that's actually what they want.
I like to learn, like somebody, like I like when Graham explains to me how tuning works, and I
That
like to
doesn't
know
mean
what's
you want to
going
do
on, but I
it.
don't want to. Doesn't mean I want to do it. Yeah, exactly. I just want to drive the car. Same thing with bikes. Like I could maintain my own bikes. I don't. I'd rather pay somebody I know to do the work for me. I just want to ride the bikes.
Uh,
So, all right, what do you think? We got a couple more questions coming in. Let's see. Question from Flatirons. Great question. Dewey, if you had to build a street mod car again, starting from scratch right now, which chassis would you pick?
That is so hard. So
I love this.
we've had this conversation, Dylan and I, like if we're to do a 2.0, um, that's tough. Okay. So every chassis has an advantage and a disadvantage. One of the reasons that if and when 2.0 happens, it'll be another GC is just due to the fact we have so much data on GCs.
Yeah.
So if I'm going in 100% blind, I still believe you're better off with a GD.
Why?
Because
similar weight?
there is you're gaining a little bit of weight, but the chassis is really stiff. There's still plenty of aftermarket support for it. There's like straight off the shelf aftermarket stuff all over the place that works really well for it. There's not much mixing and matching of parts and things of that nature. So if you're going in blind, there are advantages. Plus there's a little more room to put things, oil coolers, stuff like that. And if you need like body panels for the car or a new set of doors or something, that stuff is so much easier to find for a GD than it is a GC these days.
Okay.
So, but the weight is there's no getting around the weight. But I got to be real. Once you put both of them in race trim, the GC and the GD, we're talking like 150 pounds. It's not that much.
It's still kind of a lot for cars that look mostly the same shape.
It's physically quite a bit larger, but it's structurally way more sound. So there's an argument to be made also that it would probably handle better.
You would be putting a cage in it. Doesn't that tighten up how the chassis feels anyway?
It does, but starting with something solid and then making it more solid is still better than starting with something floppy and making it solid. Okay.
No, I get it.
So then on the flip side of things, if I were to start with completely nothing, and kind of knowing what I know now, and if I wanted to do something different, it would probably be a BRC.
Really? Would you try to make it all-wheel drive?
No, I couldn't in street.
Really? Oh,
Okay.
and in street mode. Okay.
So
Wow.
knowing what I know now, the fact that 8HP exists, and I could stuff Boogie's engine in it and just move the turbo.
So 8HP is the fancy BMW automatic?
Mhm.
You would go to an automatic. Dewey, we have had so many conversations over the last decade.
I am
You didn't even
literally
want to go to a sequential.
I would be doing it entirely due for turning a lap time. But aerodynamically, that car is just significantly better. It just is. Okay. I'm allowed to go to 285s, so I get more tire. The car's going to end up being lighter.
Yeah.
And
would you keep the multi-link rear suspension?
Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't that change kinematics? You got less travel and more calculations to do.
But it's also I don't need tons of travel in a time attack car. Now, if I was making a rally car, like we could all have a cry. There'd even be an argument to say if I'm going up Pikes Peak, maybe we want to have another conversation. But I'm not doing that with this. I'm doing street mod. That was the question. And like there would be some all-wheel drive is an advantage on something like Gingerman or CMP.
Yeah.
But then
digging out
like take Watkins.
Go to the lighter car.
Watkins, we're gonna have problems just entirely due to aero balance. There's so much off-the-shelf, really good aero parts that you can get for a BRZ. None of that exists for a GC.
Would you put in traction control or
Oh
just
yeah,
deal with
because
it
we're
yourself?
gonna have it. I would probably still be on it because I would be taking the EJ over. Okay, that
Yeah.
would so if I brought the EJ over, I'm also bringing over the M-Tron, and M-Tron traction control is incredible.
Cool.
Okay,
Okay.
so like it would
I'm
have
liking
traction
this.
control, it would have all these things. So if I'm literally just turning a lap time, I got a hard time saying that that isn't a better answer. I'm married to this brand. Okay, so I'm not leaving this brand.
Yeah. BRZs are 4-channel ABS.
It wouldn't matter.
Is
I'd
that
go
right?
to probably either a Bosch or something else.
Yeah. Okay. Um, what else? Oh, in street mod trim, so Boogeyman or this hypothetical BRZ that you would build at high speeds, are you compressing the suspension where you're just sitting on the bump stops due to aero?
We don't make anywhere near.
Okay.
Like you got to understand, Boogie doesn't make shit for downforce. I am not bullshitting when I say this. At 100 miles an hour, I think we only made like 200 pounds of downforce.
200.
It was nothing.
Is that the class? Are all the people in the class kind of struggling that same way?
No.
Really?
That's all Boogie makes. Now,
what are these other dudes making? What are your biggest competitors making?
I would bet you the Supras are probably making somewhere near 1,000.
1,000 in a street mod car, and you're making 200? No way. You had AJ Hartman. You had the big splitter tunnels. Like
I'm telling you, but you're also dealing with a shape that's creating a ton of lift.
Yeah.
At speed, and it gets worse the faster you go. Like, I gotta be real, these old 90s cars were not designed with aero the same way newer cars are. A BRZ is not going to create that type of lift.
No wonder you're dancing around so much. Your car drives like it's a rally car, where you're just kind of four-wheel sliding the whole time.
Gerby rally car. When I say this, I'm not like just making that up. We don't make shit for downforce, but what we do make is very balanced downforce. So it's a very balanced car at speed. It isn't like it transitions to rear downforce, which is why I'm not a big fan of putting giant rear wings on the back of these cars. At speed, it's very balanced. The handling balance really doesn't change the faster we go, which a lot of these other cars do. I'm not going to mention any names. Subimod's car, which I love you guys, but you need a smaller rear wing on that. And that's Max's old car, who is in here.
Is it the VB?
No, that's their GR, or sorry, their GD that Dye's driving.
Wow. Now, do you have lift issues or not even lift issues? You just have...
I don't have lift issues because we have a splitter that works really well and a reasonable size rear wing that matches.
Not rear lift issues. Not lift, specifically rear lift issues. It's just balanced all the way through.
It's just balanced due to the wing.
Okay.
Now, I could put a bigger rear wing on it and we would make more overall downforce, but at the faster I'd go, the more it'd transition to the rear.
Right. Change handling.
And I don't want that. I don't want, especially like Road America, the last thing I want is that thing to understeer the faster I'm going.
Yep. I get that. All right. So...
Alan at SPL, the front of our Miata should do 1,000 to 1,500 pounds at 150. Yeah. The front.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, shall we get Max on the horn?
Well, I still got to do Ronnie, man.
Oh, that's great. Let's do Ronnie.
We got to do Ronnie. Ronnie's question
from the post
was, one, he's got a few questions here. Who do you think you are? That's one. So I'll answer this for you, Ronnie. I think I'm just an enthusiast who beat his head against the wall long enough for people to finally start listening, but I'm still just an enthusiast. I don't know how I get paid to do this. I just, sooner or later, things started happening. Okay. I don't know.
I like the simpler answer. Who do you think you are? I am.
Yeah, I am. That's a really stupid meme. If you guys never seen that,
it's such a dumb meme, but I love it. It's professional.
The next question he has: what gives you the right? The fact that I've been
a trophy
and I've done it the wrong way so many damn times that I've kind of figured out how to do it the right way.
I'll be honest, it's the number of trophies. And there's so many people out there saying, when I get this car finished, I will blah, blah, blah. And you should listen to me now. No, come back when you have, 5 trophies and 3 championships or whatever it is.
Like, I'm getting old enough to where I can say I've done it. And that's why I know. But like, I try not to do that. But I have a lot of experience doing this stuff. Okay.
Having been around you for 10 years, people believed you even before you had a ton of success because you did back it up with smaller successes. But now it's like more people listen because you have more on your resume. So, I mean, it's kind of how the world works. When you succeed, people will listen.
Hedgelord, I'm going to answer that question here in a second.
Okay. Next running question. Why are you the way you are? Which is funny coming from him because he's known me before anybody really knew me. And I haven't changed. I just my interests have changed and I've put effort in different directions, but I'm still at a core just me. And honestly, a lot of it is I am ungodly competitive about shit that honestly doesn't matter to most people. I will die on stupid hills, including Subarus are my brand. People saying things to me like Subarus can't do this, you should give up and go get a newer vehicle or whatever, is just emphasis that just puts a more spice on me trying to get it done. So it's the same reason I joined the Marine Corps, because their whole thing was, this isn't for everybody, you really can't do it. They sold me on the downsides of it. It's the same thing. Nice.
All right. That was his last question. Yep.
Okay. I got another one for you. Every time I think of Ronnie, I think of dual valves on your wheels so you can bleed out pressure when you reach the target hot pressure for your tires.
Yes.
Whatever happened to that?
Well, so I want to try this because they have these. I have yet to try this. We actually should try this, especially like Gingerman when it's crazy hot. Okay, they have these valve caps that literally will bleed pressure at a particular pressure. So you don't over pressurize your tire. So you could you could have it for like a 34 PSI valve cap and it will shit pressure at 34 PSI.
Yes. We talked about this years ago.
And I've never done it. I'm actually happy you brought that back up. That's something I want to look into.
This comes from dirt track
they
racing?
use them on drift cars. Yeah, that's some dirt track, circle track shit.
They use them on drift cars? Or I did not see that in
Max
the chat.
at the bottom says we use them on drift cars.
Oh, sick. Yeah, self-bleeders. So
that makes a ton of sense for drifting because they're just melting those tires down. Why wouldn't you do that? Because those the pressures would be astronomical.
Yeah. You want to keep a flat contact patch no matter if it's at 1,000,000 degrees or regular highway.
Did you see that thing that came out the other day? I don't remember I think it was on the Perfect Lap podcast that they had one of the guys from Tire Rack on. And basically they said they tried all the 200 treadwear tires and there's not much of a difference other than driving feel, not overall performance. There's no difference between overall performance. It's just driving feel on anything between around 32 PSI to like 38.
Yeah, they posted it on YouTube. It's kind of a short video, like 5 to 8 minutes, and it is excellent.
It's really good.
If there's people at Tire Rack listening, their content went from good to great, or great to even better.
On their stuff though. Like this was a kind of like here's a hot take for you on the Perfect Lap podcast.
They made it on YouTube. They posted it on Tire Rack's YouTube channel. They did the whole test. It was on they used a BMW M2.
I think it's great
content.
Yep. They've been Tire Rack's been slaying it on content lately though.
Yeah, I don't know what. Like, keep those people, promote them. Whatever boss greenlit this program, give him a promotion too.
Yes,
fantastic.
Take care of these people.
Wish Tire Rack did this 10 years ago because they've always been a big name, but now they're a cool big name.
Yes.
So
it's always better to be the cool guys.
Yes. Okay. All right. Next question, Hedgelord. Do you have any advice on how to get into the performance automotive field as a fabricator? I quit my technician job a few years ago to pursue welding and fabrication. I've been working as a boiler maker, and I'm pretty good at TIG welding and fabrication now, but not sure how to attempt moving into the automotive field. Those types of jobs don't seem to get posted online, and I don't have
They're not going to get posted.
Connections.
Okay, I got to be real. A job like that isn't going to get posted. That's
Oh, I got an answer to this too, but you go
my take
first.
here is if you're as good as you think you are, you're going to need to kick in the door and you're going to need to say I am that good. You have to literally have to.
Yeah.
You got to have a little bravado to you. Okay.
Yeah.
So like we're always hiring production welders. But like if you're trying to get into performance fabrication stuff, you're just going to have to start showing up at some shops to do it. And they're gonna more than likely, if they're in any need of a fabricator whatsoever, they're gonna put you in front of a welder and tell you, well, put up or shut up. Okay,
Right.
they're gonna have you try out. You won't get paid for it. It is what it is. Just like, hey, put some stuff together.
Or you'll get paid garbage in the beginning. Yeah. I got an answer for this. So I'm a spreadsheet guy, and the work that I do, can be taught, like the theory, because I've got a college degree, of course, but like the day-to-day work, honestly, can't be taught. You just got to know it by doing it. And I think welding's probably the same way. Performance aftermarket is even stranger because everybody wants it done yesterday. And those things take a lot of thinking on your feet that it's not going to be taught in a class.
Yep.
So not only do you have to be really good at what you do, you have to be able to solve problems that you haven't seen before. So that's not something that can be taught. So you can be good, but you got to be good in a certain way to hack it in the auto industry
And not
or
only that,
performance
like,
industry.
if you're a douche, you're not going to work at a performance shop. Yeah, like you got to vibe with the people there. I'm sorry, like a lot of a good performance shop, like if you there's a small community inside of that shop, and if you don't jive with that community, it's never going to work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and if a shop says they're the best, probably not the best. Like, there's people don't have time to talk shit on the internet. They're out there just building cars and doing.
That's a really good point. If they're out there just basically talking shit about everybody else's stuff instead of actually doing things,
they got time.
They're
And
probably not the right answer. Okay, we're not going to mention
shops
who
don't
or
have time.
what, but like if
yeah,
if they have time to talk about other people's stuff versus just showing off what they're doing, they ain't the right answer.
Yep.
So as you're shopping for a
me,
good place to go, avoid those.
For me personally, I am not a mechanic. I am far from a welder. I am a spreadsheet guy, but I'm in community. I was always going to say industry, but just showing up and doing grunt work, that's what got me in. And then people liked me. I vibed with the people, and then I helped where I could.
You've done a lot of grunt
probably
work.
something. It's probably something similar. Yeah, there's a lot of grunt work to do on building a race car. So you can start there and then say like, hey, I'm good at welding. And you could go from welding, production welding to welding fun stuff. Like you can't just start from nothing and go to 100%. You're the king. Like let's start at the bottom. It's like any industry.
Yep.
Show up, be helpful. The rest is details.
Curveball. If people aren't factoring in the tire spring rate varied by pressure, by the way, they're setting up. I agree with you. That's another part of this too.
Yes.
The tire itself won't fall off. Okay. But the more pressure you have in it, the stiffer the sidewall is going to be. And that is going to change how the car operates. But the tire itself will still have basically the same amount of grip. So we're going to be messing with some stuff ourselves.
People don't think about this, but that is a thing in mountain bikes. It's actually a thing in road bikes as well, because this is stiff and carbon fiber and everything. I'm gesturing to the bike that's behind me in the video chat, but you get a little bit of squish from the tires. And that's the difference between bouncing over bumps and just sort of gliding through them. And that means efficiency when you're going 50 or 100 miles. It matters.
So I love this. This guy's like, it's just a post from like Facebook or something, and said, I need some aluminum welding done on the top motor mount on my 85 Norton Commando chopper. So I asked a local guy if he could do fine aluminum, and he sent me this photo, and it's 2 beer cans welded together. That is sick. That is stack
Yeah.
times hotness. Yeah, I take it to that guy. And again, you have to be that kind of guy. Who do you think you
Yeah.
are? I am. It's
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, let's look what else we got in the chat. So,
no, I love it.
yeah. All right. Should we get Max on the
I'm
phone?
gonna get Max on here. Max, you ready to come on?
All right. Let's do the thing.
Oh, Max.
I would also reserve 5 minutes for Mr. Flatirons to just vent because I'm sure he's got some things kicking around.
We've got stuff.
Mr. Flatirons.
Mr. Flatirons. Max, how you
Mr.
doing, buddy?
Flatirons. How you doing, Max?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
So,
Nice to meet you.
last time we
Nice to meet
chatted
you.
with you, you were putting your BRZ together, and you were fighting through some stuff and some heating issues and all that. And you know, I kind of want you to go through the same story that you told us at Gingerman, because I got to be real, it warmed my heart. And then then we'll go from that to where you you know, what's the plans and where you're going from here. Because the biggest reason I want you to say this is we have a whole podcast dedicated to this. And some people think I am full of shit when I say things like this. And you're a perfect example of somebody who fought it tooth and nail.
Oh, not the only one. What happened?
Almost tooth and nail. I let it consume me, but the way the story goes is, you know, I'm a man. I make mistakes. I'm willing to own up to those mistakes. And I walked over to Dewey's side of the paddock, and I had to tell the team, you know, I may have been wrong in a thing or two about ducting and how the benefits of ducting could benefit me. It wasn't just the only problem, but it solved many of my problems. And that was from a car that was overheating like you know, every single like today, you know, like a hot day today.
Yep.
It ran ice cold at Gingerman. It was like 199 coolant and like 220 oil, and I've been battling oil temps this whole season. And yeah, it finally went away after we spent I think it was 5.5 hours doing arts and crafts in my car.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so
But-
that's what I ended up doing.
Ducting.
Is it a situation?
I've been screaming this forever. It gets ignored by everybody. That you can have the absolute nicest heat exchangers you can buy. PWR, whatever, like you name it, Calsonic, I don't care. You yank it straight from an F1 car. It does not matter how good your heat exchangers are. If you do not duct it, it's not a shit, like absolute garbage eBay heat exchanger will function better than the highest end heat exchanger you can purchase if the shit one is ducted better. Ducting is everything.
Yeah,
Yep.
and there's benefits for downforce too in the front end of the car, because I gurney flapped the hood vents as well, so that just extract an extraordinary amount of air out of the engine bay as it was going in.
Mhm.
So it just channeled everything up nicely. The front end felt a little bit better too.
That's good. Like that's actually kind of a
Nice.
side benefit because you lower the pressure in the front there, due to ducting, and you know having and so you actually like you felt a difference in the front end grip of the car too, huh?
I did.
That's sick.
I made some adjustments to the suspension too to make it feel a little bit like it was the front end was gripping up more, so the rear end was rotating around more. So I softened up a little bit more just to the rear, just to get it to plant more.
That's awesome.
I have never heard this before, but I think that's awesome that you get better ducting, you clean up that pressure zone in the front of the car, and it changes the balance of the car. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's all really
there was also-
aerodynamics is in general is just pressure in different areas.
Yep.
I think Gingerman too has some corners that are pretty sensitive to
Yes.
your brake input and steering input and your proverbial brake to throttle, steering wheel connectedness. So you could rotate the car around very easily with just, that kind of modulation as well.
Yeah, Gingerman's rough, man. Was that your first time at Gingerman?
First time at Gingerman, and I got slayed every day. And Sunday, the car finally started making sense to me.
Yep.
But it was already too late. The weekend was like basically over.
Gingerman's tough.
Yes.
It's one of those tracks that like it takes a little while to learn. It's easy to just turn a lap on. It's hard to find actual speed, and then you will spend the rest of your life hunting for a perfect lap around that track, and it'll never happen.
Yeah, I was getting my butt kicked at in 10 pretty good.
Yep.
Like the entry that it just falls away from you where you think that you're just totally messing up the corner, but I also see people other drivers taking it away where I'm like, that makes no sense the way that the car goes in there and exits that way, but it's fast.
So 10, I mean, I watched my sub 130 go away at 10 multiple times over the weekend. The last one was just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But and I've barreled into 10. I probably have thousands of laps there at this point, you know, and 10 never feels correct. And honestly, to me, it almost feels different every time I come into it. So like hopefully you're not beating yourself up over it. I think you actually did really good for your first time there. What did you end up getting your lap time down to? This is a GLTC car, by the way.
A 44.
Yeah, so don't kill yourself over that, man. I know like the front runners were running sub 140 and whatever, but like that is not an easy track. You have an NA BRZ that you're still trying to figure out, dude. That's not a bad time at all.
This car this year has been an absolute battle. Just like you never want to start off the weekend battling your own car. Like, yeah, I just want to work on myself. And every weekend I've showed up to every event this year.
Yep.
I've been battling the car. And it's something that I've never experienced in my 15 years of driving, where like every weekend we're showing up and this car is fighting me. And this is, you know, for those in the chat, like I'm a grassroots driver. So don't think that like I've come from like this crazy background. Like I've been driving on track, doing my own thing, and now I have a shop behind me. And even with a shop behind me, we're just getting crushed by this car. It is just fighting me. Like we get to the end of the weekend, the first race on Sunday, and I finish the race and literally get into turn 1. The throttle body eats itself and it gets stuck in wide open throttle.
Oh, no.
Dude,
Nobody has ever heard about a BRZ throttle body failing, and I have the proof.
No.
What's really crazy is it's not just you either. Like it's one of the ASM guys posted up today. They're doing some testing at Watkins, and they like everybody's shitting throttle bodies out of nowhere now. It's like something degraded in the throttle body from a time frame, and like these track BRZs are all shitting throttle bodies now.
I talked to Andy Smenegard, and he's just like, I've never heard of that before. And I was just like, you never heard it before, but let me show you. And then I took it over to him, and I'm like, that just ate itself inside the throttle body on track.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, Gingerman was fighting some issues, having some other like weird on throttle acceleration issues. So we're gonna work that out.
What does that mean? It's just like it's rolling into the throttle the wrong way.
So coming out of a corner, I mean, BRZs are not known to be the most torquiest of cars, but you know, I come on out of the corner exit on throttle, first gear shift, and the car is not like accelerating out of the corner. It's just not. It's just like everybody puts about a car to a car and a half on me every time I'm leaving a corner, and I'm like, we're figuring out why is there so much,
or is it just like the car's just not leaving?
The car is just like it's not like it's super noticeable, but like when you look at the data and then you look at the video and you see like even other BRZs that are FA24 BRZs, and they put like about, you know, maybe not a car and a half on you, but they're putting like three quarters of a car on you out of a corner. It's just like, something's going on here.
Is it like they have more traction, or is it you don't have enough power?
I think on Sunday, I felt like it was definitely something with the torque.
Okay.
But I'm also learning that even the FA24 BRZ folks in the GLTC crowd are on ethanol, which are probably giving them another 10 to 15 torque.
Yes.
Because I'm pumped. I'm still pumped. So I'm still pumped 93. So that's probably really the reason why.
That
But
is going to
we're gonna
help.
take a look at.
And not only that, it's
Now-
gonna keep combustion temps down quite a bit too. So the engine's probably gonna be a little less finicky on that.
Yeah, but we think it's probably more of that because I'm 192, 193 torque on my FA24, and I'm 210 to about 210 horsepower.
Man, there's all sorts of good shit going on in the chat right now. So what's you guys? I'm assuming you're going to Watkins. I'm assuming you're pretty hyped about that.
I will not be at Watkins, unfortunately.
What?
Yeah,
What?
Brother.
I can't go. I duty calls. Unfortunately, I'll be annual training with the National Guard. So
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh, yeah.
it is a valid
Thank you for your
excuse to
service.
not be at the track.
I'll
Appreciate
allow it this time.
100%.
I'm just saying if the car shows up and you need a driver, I mean, we're both tall, I'll
You would
just
fit right in.
I'll just throw your suit on and like pretend I'm you so you don't lose out on points.
It really pains me because Watkins Glen's probably the track I have the most seat time in. I've probably done hundreds of laps at the Glen.
Yeah,
30, at least 30 plus days of being at the Glen. So this really pains me.
it'll be my first, other than the sim. First time I've ever been there.
Dang. Wow.
It's such a big track. You make a mistake somewhere and you're going to carry that for the rest of the track.
Yeah, and it's all these big sweepy corners. So like carrying a lap through there is going to be rough. You screw one corner entry up and it is going to, just like you said, it'll go with you the rest of the track. There's no like, I'm going to make it up here real quick. Which sucks.
You know what will be fun for you though? Flying through the bus stop. Flying through the bus stop in a STI chassis is is awesome.
I'm hyped to do it with this new suspension too. Like with how good it took turn 3 and turn 5 at Road Atlanta. I think it's gonna be really stable through there. I think we're gonna be able to just bomb through it. So
I've
That's
very much sent my car through the bus stop and really closed down the gap on a lot of folks in there, like scary fast speeds through there where everybody else is a little bit more hesitant. The GD and I'm sure your GC chassis will probably float through there pretty nicely because it's all hooked up.
we got the test day, so we're gonna. I'm not gonna go out there 100% blind for competition, but yeah, I'm hoping to at least get a few laps and figure out what the hell I'm doing. Should be fun though.
You'll
Pretty hyped.
You'll fly through the bus stop and then you'll be very sad when you make the right on the carousel and you're just in understeer city and you can't do anything about it and you have to be super patient on throttle.
Yep.
We should talk about how that car probably is going to feel around.
Yeah,
Watkins
I'd
Glen, 'cause
actually I want to pick your
all my
brain a little bit
Glen.
on that. I'm beating the thing up in the sim, but like it's not the same, but I know exactly what you're talking about, and I could see how Boogie is going to be highly disappointing there.
There's like 2 or 3 areas. I don't know if we're taking up time, but like, yeah, it's going to be coming out of the bus stop on the right hander is going to feel sad because it's just all wheel drive, understeer, super patient. Then the run down to the laces is going to feel it's actually going to feel pretty cool. Like there's more camber inside than you think. So
Yeah.
don't be so far track right.
Sure.
And then at the toe of the boot is just it's just
That's
gonna
got
be
a
point
really
shoot corner.
serious uphill, so that should actually like grip the car up quite a bit too.
Yeah, you would think it's. I don't want to say maybe it is a point and shoot corner as much as it's like is going to be a little bit of somewhat patience at the beginning, but because you're all-wheel drive, you're going to hook up and fly out of there.
Yeah.
And then turn 10 is going to be the nail biter for you because a lot of your competitors will be able to take that flat out, but in the STI it never felt great to try to go flat out there. It'll because of understeer, it'll put you way too far track right.
That's second to
And
the
then you're
last
gonna try
corner, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And you're going to try to yank it back for 11. And that's where people lose the rear end because the track grip falls away very quickly because you're out on the outside of the track limits, right?
Yep.
So there's marbles
And then
and
the
less
car would
grip out
rotate.
there. and people wrote over, try to get it over back left because they overshot 10, and that's when they end up in the wall.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah,
Well,
and just because of the STI platform, it's
be
understeery,
prepared for
so,
me
like,
to, get you on the phone or whatever and maybe watch some video. So,
well, I have data to for a 2-minute flat lap, so
nice.
I know you'll probably be I know you'll be quicker than that.
That's the idea. I'm hoping to bury it, so we'll see where we end up.
Yeah, because I've done a 2-minute flat there in TT2 trim, and TT3 trim I did a 201, so that was flying. My 201 and TT3 trim is probably even better than my 2-minute and TT2.
Nice. All right,
Nice.
man. Well, we got a few more questions in the chat. Stay in touch, but if anybody learned anything from this, and I hope you did, it's go listen to our podcast on ducting. It matters.
It matters. You want to be so sad and apologize to everybody for thinking that you knew better, but we did have lots of other things that happened. But
no, you had other stuff going on too, but basically it completely changed your temp situation is what I wanted to get at. So cool,
yes.
man. I appreciate it. And yeah, we'll have you on again. I want to have you on and do a full thing again. So catch it up where you are. Well, I hope for you to at least be a reoccurring guest. So stay tuned.
Yep. Back
Nice.
in action in August. NASA event doubleheader, then right into Circuit Legends.
Sick. Let's go.
Sick.
All right. Later, man.
All right,
Nice. Thanks, Max.
All right. We did get a pretty good question in the chat. And the guys in the chat kind of answered it, but I definitely want to bring it up because it does kind of fall into this. So
go for it.
Chris with the STI asks, what are going to be the biggest struggles using the VA chassis for grid life? Because of your experience, you have a minute to answer these questions. I do. Your biggest struggle, we all know how to make power, okay? We know how to make these things turn. There's plenty of good aftermarket aero stuff out there. We know what tires you need to use, alignment, setup, all that. It's all pretty much there. That chassis is actually pretty good. The Achilles heel of the VA is cooling. Okay? Keeping temps in check with a VA is really damn hard. They had to go to extreme measures on Sally's car. They had to go to extreme measures on Devin's car. Luke McGrew gave up on racing a VA because he couldn't get the thing to cool off. Long story short, a lot of everybody went through and kind of answered a lot of the things you can do, but ducting, going back to this, ducting is absolutely huge. Okay, it's massive when it comes to these cars. One of the big problems with a VA is the opening for the radiator is actually fairly small, and it's blocked by this giant crash beam. So it's rough making that work. You're gonna maybe have to commit to it being a race car and not a street car. And there's compromises that need to be made because you got to open that up. But even then, ducting, and understanding how pressure works.
Yep.
Somebody put in there, the Varus vents for the hood. Yeah, that works great at lowering pressure under the hood, so it promotes air to pass through your heat exchangers. But also blocking off your hood scoop helps a lot too. If you're obviously not running a top mount, if you're running a front mount, anything you can do as far as that goes, trying to basically keep high pressure in front of your heat exchangers and low pressure behind it. Can't stress that enough. But even then, I do recommend really high quality heat exchangers. That actually can make the difference in the VA. The whole reason we designed the radiator that we did, it is expensive, but it was designed for the VA specifically to try to keep those things cool. And if you're letting temps get all out of check, you're going to be blowing engines left and right, and you're going to have a bad time. The other thing you're going to struggle with that car is weight. Okay, they're heavy. Even the GR is fat, but it's very easy to pull a bunch of weight out of the GR. And the GR is kind of generous with its shape, not only for heat exchangers, but just the basic shape of the front of the car. The VA, on the other hand, it's a lot more condensed in there, and it's harder to remove the weight. You can get them both to about the same race weight, but there's a lot more sound deadening in a VA, seat, stuff like that. It's all really heavy, and you're going to be fighting it. Okay. Um, but again, you can haul some serious ass in that chassis if you do it correctly. Those were all really good. Good suggestions that people brought up. So the chat did a very good job there.
Yeah, chat's been blowing up today. This is great. You love to see it.
You love to see it.
Well, Dewey, should we call it here or get Mr. Flatirons on the phone for 5 minutes of anything that's on his mind?
I wouldn't mind bringing him on. John, you want to come on for a minute?
Let's do it.
We'll hit the old invite to speak. See what he's up to. See what the situation is with the car. They just got back, did Pikes Peak. I don't know if he's going to pop on or not.
He's raising his hand.
No, I raised his hand. I invited him to speak.
Oh.
So, yeah, any more questions in the chat? This is kind of last call for any questions.
Yep.
Yeah, they're actually showing in the chat some pictures of some aftermarket like crash bars and stuff, which is a really good idea.
Cool. SPL parts. Why do I know SPL parts?
But good stuff.
Oh, do you have parts of this on your car, Dewey?
What's that?
SPL parts.
I don't think that's the same SPL. There's like SPL suspension pieces. Maybe I'm wrong. Max at EFI is asking how much champagne is embedded in your suit. I didn't get wet at all, but I think you were the one that was on the ground and you got drenched. That sprayed so much harder than I thought it would. So
they look good though.
It looks sweet, man. The video looks awesome. I hate champagne. I don't drink, but I've been in like champagne spray. It just gets sticky and you can't get it out of anything. It's awful. Yeah. Max, I think, was laying on the ground and I was spraying and and then he got nailed and got up and ran away. And there was just this outline of where he was at.
Nice.
This is Alan at SPL suspension. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. See?
Yeah, I have a bunch of their parts on my BRZ. I love it. And maybe we'll do something with the, maybe that's the direction I'll go for the rear lateral links. Because I got to be real, there ain't much. I haven't looked to see what they have for rear lateral links for the older cars, but nobody makes good ones. So, Perrin bumper cut for the 17 fit within street class rules. Yeah, why not? You're absolutely allowed to open up your bumper for cooling. So you absolutely can do that, yes. We need to make those. I message you on Facebook about it. Then we need to chat about that because, again, nobody makes a good set. They're all junk.
Nice. Man, this has been a heck of a podcast, man. We caught up on lots of things.
Yeah.
Did some
deals. What are you doing this weekend? It sounds like I have a weekend happening now. I'm going to replace my front brakes and clean my car up. I'm going to try this stuff out. I got sent. What is the name of this company?
Ooh, what is that? That's a spray bottle.
Gyeon. Gyeon. But this is their iron cleaner stuff for your wheels.
Oh, cool.
And this stuff should work really well against the one of the problems I have with Hawk DTC 60s is the dust, if it gets wet, turns rock hard. This shit should actually help. Have you seen that stuff where you spray and it turns red?
Yep.
That's
so it shows you that it's working.
It's that kind of stuff. So I guess it smells awful, but that's how you know it's working. I don't know. I'll let you know. I might post a video up of it.
Nice.
Then I'm going to go to that Cars and Coffee. Then a ton of people are coming over Saturday night. And Sunday, it sounds like I might be driving to Indiana.
Nice. Yeah, I don't have anything nearly as interesting planned. I am in my busy season, so I got to work probably tomorrow and then maybe a little bit over the weekend. Other than that, I really don't have anything planned. It's all so hot, and now it's going to be hot and raining. So, not really motivated to go outside. It's too hot to even ride the bike. So, I'll probably be stuck inside working out. So, that's what I got.
Well,
Yeah, training weather. Well,
yeah,
I think that's everything.
I think that's
Dewey.
it.
This
I
has
think
been
that's what we're gonna do.
a video.
This was
Or heck of
fun.
a
Like,
podcast.
I kind of like just winging it podcasts. That honestly, I've always been a big fan of these, and so.
Same.
I'm getting tagged. When are
Cool.
you gonna find time to listen to "It's Not the Car"? Also, skirts update for Boogie. Skirts. I wish I had an update on that. I don't. Okay. When am I gonna find time to listen to "It's Not the Car"? I haven't had a chance to blink. This week we've had the 4th of July sale going on, and it's been nuts. So, didn't ignore you.
Nice.
Didn't have an answer. Alan, let's talk. Definitely down to chat. And past that, it's been fun and it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. And we'll catch you guys all next time. Later.